Hey guys, I'm Jacqueline.
And we
just finished watching the 100 season 5 episode 5 and we have so much to discuss. At the beginning of the episode we focus in on Clark knowing the terrain and Octavia not listening. The frustration of nobody listening to Clark, whose home is that? You know, like
that's what pisses me off about it is because this is Clark. Clark's been living there for 6 years. Like everybody's kind of like trying to take claims to Eden, and it's Clark's home.
Yeah, but I like that she said that though.
Yeah, she was like,
she's like, nobody wants it as much as me. This is my home. This is where she's lived.
She lived there for 6 years.
Her stuff is there. Like that's her. Exactly.
It's her house. It's her house. It's her drawings. It's where her and Maddie slept. It's where her and Maddie lived for 6 years. So. Yeah, Octavia was psycho in this one, of course.
She was crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
Like, I feel like in this one, we really got to see how insane she has. Like, last episode, we got, like, glimpses of it, you know? Like, being in the bunker, we got a lot of scenes with Kane and her and that relationship. And this one, we really got to see her be a leader and lead these people into a sandstorm.
Yeah, Octavia's a leader. She's very reckless. She's
reckless, but
power hungry almost, Octavia, and I feel like she is power hungry, honestly, because I think she likes that she has all these people that are backing her up, and Bellamy and Clark can't do anything about it because. Like, even when Bellamy tried to, like, tell her, like, you know, we have to turn back, she was kind of like, she had all these people surrounding them, like, that could kill them, you know? So, Octavia she has all this power, she really does. But you really see, like, the contrast of leadership. Like, there's Bellamy and Clark who are on the same page in this episode. And
I love that, though.
And then you have Octavia, who's just, like, crazy.
I loved having Clark and Bellamy on the same side this episode because I feel like we're in, like I said to Marcel, like I'm like, yeah, this is so happy. This is like the honeymoon phase. Like, you know, we just got reunited. We got to see them really be separated together, you know, like it was really Wong crew versus Bellamy and Clark.
Oh my gosh.
And I love that Bellamy is still on her side, even though like he doesn't know the terrain either. He's just listening to Clark because he realizes Clark has been here. One of the first Bull moments was when you know, Bellamy's on Clark's side after she's talking about like the razor blade storm, like the sandstorm and stuff, and Octavia's like, yeah, no, we're still going. And he's like, am I crazy? Like, he's just like, I think at that moment he's like, oh my god, like, these people would kill me too, and I'm Octavia's brother, and they would still, you know, like that doesn't really mean anything anymore. Oh my god, he gets her car, he gets her pack, and he gives her their pack, and they're going on like a date, and he's like, oh, a 6-day hike and through a sandstorm, gladiator call, like, oh, it's just so good.
The way that, like, in that moment, like, he says, like, I have to go save Murphy and Raven, whatever, and Clark's face is kind of like, she's a little taken aback and almost like hurt because she doesn't think that he's including her. She's kind of like, well, she says, like, she goes, what do we do? What do we do? Yeah. What are we gonna do? And he's like, well, he's like, Raven and Murphy are in trouble. Like, I have to go. Yeah. And then he grabs her backpack. Like,
he's like, you're coming, like, obviously.
Obviously, you're coming.
You're gonna come. Like,
because he just wants her there with him, guys. Like, he just wants to be around Clark right now. Exactly.
I love when Bellamy hands her that pack because, you know, it's that moment of like I want you to still come with me. Like, he's giving her the pack, like, you know, you're not staying behind. Like, that's ridiculous. But I feel like that would have been, if it was like seasons ago, it would have been Clark being like, I'm going, and then Bellamy being like, Bellamy going with her. You know, it would have been different. Now it's like reversed. Well, I definitely feel like in this episode, it really established Bellamy and Clark's connection, even though 6 years later, like, you know, we had the reunion scenes and stuff, but now we actually got to see them be on the same side and
working together after not doing that in 6 years.
And
but now it still feels like Bellamy and Clark, but it's different, and I love that they acknowledge that in this episode. Like, I love that Clark said that that Octavia's not the only one who's changed.
Oh my god, that scene.
She realizes that Bellamy listened to her. He took her advice and he learned to use his head and his heart. And the fact that in that scene, the heart and the head, like...
No, she mentions it to him because, you know, that's the last time they really saw each other and spoke was really during that conversation.
Exactly.
And it shows that 6 years later, like, it was so... It affected them so deeply where like they still remember like that very, very well. And I love that Clark is acknowledging that, you know, Bellamy changed because of her and she changed because of him. Like,
well, that's just like, I mean, the head and the heart scene from last season, that was so important to important to them.
He's so in love with them, guys. Like,
seriously.
And okay, then the first thing that we got of them though, like earlier in the episode, like right in the beginning, when you had Miller like be like, oh, we're leaving or whatever, and Bellamy's like very intently like watching this interaction, right? And then when they go, and you know, Octavia's like, yeah, no, we're still going, and Clark mentions the sandstorm and how it's like razor blades, like it's very dangerous. And I think at that moment when you see Bellamy's face, I think that's him realizing like Clark went through a lot. Yeah. And then that's why their conversation when they're sitting by the fire.
First of all, the fire. That paralleling when they were by the fire back in like what, season 1, like.
Oh, the fire scene. Oh my god.
Scene.
So
yeah, they were like the outsiders sitting together.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's really nice, you know, but now Space Crew and Maddie came, and now it's gonna become now there's
gonna be
which is where it's gonna come
which is where the problems are gonna come between them, because they have these different groups that they're looking out for.
Yeah, that's the angst that we've all been warned about. Yeah. So it's coming, but they gave us a nice episode. They gave us some nice moments. But I love that when he says that she's like talking about how you know, Octavia's insane, but there's something, she calls it beautiful, like there's something very compelling almost about how all of these people are so loyal, and they lost like 400 people, and it's made them stronger because of it. And she has like this whole speech that she gives, and Bellamy's just like staring at her, like
Bellamy is so amazed.
Like he's just like, oh yeah.
Like guys, Bellamy is so proud of Clark too.
Yeah,
like,
he goes.
Obviously, we know that Clark is proud of Bellamy,
but he's proud of her too.
He's so proud of her, and like you could see the amazement that she survived that long without really like. I mean, she had Maddie, but. Really, she was alone, like, for a while.
She tells him Maddie. Like, she was like, so surviving alone. And she's like, well, I had Maddie. And, you know, I think that Bellamy knew that there was something that she wasn't fully telling him, because she, you know, she hasn't really spoken about these things. It's very serious, some of the things that she went through,
you could tell that Clark didn't want to
talk about that dark time.
She didn't want to talk about that dark time before she had Maddie, because she goes to bed, she gets up, she's kind of like, I'm done, like, she's like, I'm tired, like, you could tell she just kind of shuts herself off from thinking about that dark time, like, she almost killed herself.
Exactly.
And I really do wonder if that's gonna come up, and Bellamy's gonna, she's gonna tell Bellamy about that,
because that was so big. I hope that, and of course we didn't get him finding out about the radio, you know, she could have said like,
that was a perfect moment.
Like, Bellamy, you didn't answer your radio. Like,
she could have
frequency.
She could have been like, I mean, yeah, she could have been like, I talked on the radio, and he could have been like
what?
To who? To, you know, you.
Will Bellamy ever find out about the radio calls? That is the question of the season.
Question.
I loved that scene in front of the fire, and it really paralleled a lot of other important moments that have happened with the two of them, like when he watched her sleep by the fire, and he's like, he'll do anything to protect her.
And him looking, like, he's looking, like, I just love the way he's looking at her. And he just looks so sad to think about her being alone. Like, when he thinks about, like, that she was alone for 6 years, like,
it will always hurt. Really got Bellamy and Clark against Wong Crew. And Wong Crew, there's something so unifying about all of them. Like, Octavia's fucking insane.
So Miller.
Yeah,
in the beginning of the episode, Miller wouldn't talk to, like, Clark, wouldn't, like, say anything about Bellamy, like, he was told not to say anything to them, and neither would Jackson. They're all so loyal to Octavia.
Yeah, and we really see that a lot in this episode. Like, we really see how that Kara bitch from, like, the premiere, the lady who was, like, the first one that was in Sky Crew that went against Octavia, how she became so faithful. And we even had Indra make that snide comment, like, oh, you know, like, oh, I believe I'm with the Red Queen or whatever. She's like, oh, I'm with Blood Rain, and she's like, oh, what a surprise, or something like that.
Yeah, Indra is really, like, Indra's worried about Octavia. She is, and Indra really cares about Octavia.
Oh my gosh, she's like,
I love you. And Octavia's like, I would never say that to you. Like, Octavia's just completely shut herself down.
Yeah, the love
She's
is
turned
weakness.
off her humanity, the whole love is weakness thing. And that she just doesn't want to feel any of those emotions, because that means she gets hurt. It's Octavia is...
She's been through a lot,
It's literally, all of this is a defense mechanism for Octavia. It's a way to protect herself and not get hurt. And it's really sad to see, though, because she has all these people that care about her, and I really just hope that Octavia's not like this the whole season.
No, the creature that was, like, in the stomach was that, like, rodent thing. Like, oh, the parasites, that was disgusting.
Yeah, that was gross. And of course, Bob retweeted this spider, and I'm like, everybody's kind of just like, ew, Bob, what are you doing? Bob, you thought you were so funny and so clever.
You're so slick.
So clever,
None of us had any idea.
None of us knew you were trying to reference the episode, Bob.
I love that, you know, Bellamy was like the scene. It was so quick, the scene that was in the trailer of him like grabbing onto her arm.
No, but we got the other great scenes.
Yes, we did, but that was a quick
My favorite one was the one where the head and heart conversation.
Yeah, that was the best. Blake siblings, Bellamy and Octavia, this episode. Bellamy was really I think he was taken aback at his sister, honestly. Like, I think that he was shocked at Wonkru, and I like that at the end how he says, you know, Wonkru is strong, like their leader, like he's so good, Bellamy. And even though like she was like talking so much shit to him, he's still like holding her hand, like comforting her when Clark is like trying to get that thing out of her.
No, like
Bellamy is so good. Like he's still like that's his sister, and he just loves her so much. And Octavia is really mean to him. Octavia kind of takes advantage of him, and then she does, and I really hope that this does not go on, because it's all season, because we've seen this before with Bellamy and Octavia. This is how their relationship has like been lately, the past like, but it picked up right where it was, basically.
It really did, and I think a lot of it has to do with how like the bunker has changed Octavia. But yeah, I just hope that this doesn't go on like all season with them. I really don't, because it's like a repeated storyline with their relationship. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens at the end, because I think we need a little bit of a redemption in some way for Octavia. Like, I'm interested to see like more of how Wonkru has changed her, and honestly, if she's gonna like come back from this dark. I think that she's gonna end up losing Indra.
I hope it's not Indra, but it might be now that we see a lot of.
I don't know, just like all the talk of love and stuff with Indra. I feel like Indra's gonna sacrifice herself for Octavia. Or something. I don't know.
Well, Indra seems to think that Bellamy is like the key to Octavia, like, you know, but
that's her family.
I think it's gonna be more Indra too. I think that something's gonna happen where Indra's gonna, well, we already saw that she was not doing well, like she had like glass stuff like in her lungs or something, like it's just so bad. I think she'll be fine though right now. Like I can't see us losing her so early in.
If we even do. I don't know. I mean, we still think the big death that is gonna be Kane. Got that scene that we all had at first we all thought that was gonna be the reunion, the scene of Bellamy and Octavia, and it was a really nice scene when she kisses him on the cheek and she says that she's glad that he's alive. And yeah, it was really nice up until she went all crazy again and was like, but if you're against Wonkru, you're against me. Like, you're the enemy.
You're the enemy of Wonkru.
And then Clark is just kind of like, oh.
Okay. I love that scene.
I love their shared looks, Bellamy and Clark. Yeah. Crazy Octavias are just like.
There were so many. I'm like
looking at each other like.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, they had a lot of like, what the fuck looks at each other, you know? But when Octavia says to Clark, thank you for saving me, and then Bellamy's like, she saves us.
Oh my god, yeah, Bellamy comes out and is like, she saved us. And his voice is so rough.
I still love the line when he said, and so is surviving alone. Like, how impressed he is by that. I think that's
the fire scene, and then the scene when they're talking, when Clark had mentioned that you're different and like the head and heart. I think those two are my favorite.
Yeah. Besides all those scenes that we got in the desert, we got a lot of really great stuff with Raven and Murphy and Shaw. We call him Zeke, and he's not Zeke anymore. In this Jason.
Video, I couldn't help it. It was just Zeke. He's Zeke. Just Zeke to me. I'm like attached to that name now, but we're gonna try to call him Shaw.
The struggle of when you ship Mervyn, but you kind of ship Shaw and Raven. Like I ship both of them.
I do think that Shaw and Raven are gonna be a thing.
They're definitely gonna be a thing. Like I really like that though. How Raven had this plan, and she's like, "Yo, we're gonna follow my plan. Like we're not." Like, this is not the only idea. Like, he comes in, he's like, okay, we could do this or we could do this. I love, though, that he's on our side so soon. I thought that was going to take more towards, like, the middle-ish of the season. It was pretty early in. Now he's on our side.
It's not really surprising, though, because there was a lot of hints in the past couple episodes that he wasn't completely for.
He ended up being the one that stopped the missiles, which we kind of said that, like, as the week went on, we were like, I bet you that was him. Like, we mentioned that in our live chat, really, it was probably him that did that, and
ended up being him. Yes.
It was the excitement of that scene though. Oh my god. That scene though, when,
like Raven
and Murphy.
And then Raven is so worried about Murphy. And like, oh my god, like, the two of them, like, in this episode.
He's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And he's like, are you? And it was just like, oh, the two of them. Kills me. I think that they're gonna be more season 6. I really do. Now it's gonna be Shaw and Raven. And unless maybe Shaw comes over to us with season 6. I don't know. Unless he sticks around.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know.
A lot of Abby and Kane angst between them. We had Abby, you know, with her pill her pill addiction. And she still, it's an addiction. Like, she cannot stop.
Yeah, no.
Even though, like, it was really sad to see, you know, Kane's reaction to that. And
yeah, I mean, their relationship is really bumpy right now, Kane and Abby. It's hard to watch. It's hard to see them struggle like that.
Kane is on Charmaine's side, it seems like.
Well, Kane is trying to figure out, he's trying to be like the peacemaker. And I don't think that they're going to be able to make peace with Charmaine and their people. Listen. Especially with Octavia around.
Like, honestly, like, I can see why Kane is trying to be with, like, more on Charmaine's side. Because Octavia was about to kill him.
Yeah.
He's just trying to make it and live and make peace. He is a traitor now to Octavia. Like, he is on Charmaine's side. Which is why I do think that he's going to die in the end of
He's not on her side, though. He's just, I mean, he's telling her they were taking shots together. He was gonna tell her all about Octavia. Like, yeah, I mean, he's also trying to get Octavia out of power here. Like,
that's what he is, yeah, because he knows how insane she is. He saw it happen.
I really hope that Abby can end up figuring out what is wrong with all of the prisoners and with their illness, because it seems like the last doctor that they had couldn't, and he ended up dead. So if Abby can't figure this out, it's not looking good for her or Kane. And I can honestly see the reason why I think that Diyoza was so, she allowed Kane to come with them because she can use Kane against Abby to make her make her listen no matter what. And I think that if Abby ends up not being able to help them, maybe that's how Kane's gonna die. Like, Kane's gonna end up in the middle of all of this and end up dying. I don't know.
Maybe because maybe that will pull Abby back, like, into, like, the light side. Maybe losing Kane. That'll, like, drive her to the edge.
I feel like that would make her go
worse.
That would make her worse. Yeah. We have to mention the ending.
Yeah.
So obviously we were disgusted with Bellamy and Echo, clearly. But
guys,
I'm not worried. Like, we figured that there was going to be something. They had to have showed them kissing, because we needed Clark to see, and we needed Octavia to see. Yeah. So I think we had mentioned this at the end of our reaction, but it didn't even feel like that moment was about Bellamy and Echo. Like, it was about shows them kiss, else. But it wasn't even,
it was blurred.
It wasn't focusing in on them. It was focusing in on Clark and Maddie in the corner. Clark's reaction to it, it's very quick. It's like a few seconds. Then she goes back to Maddie, her attention. And then it focuses in on Octavia. That was literally
we were all
the point.
Octavia in that moment, though.
We really were.
Like, both emotions of, like, first Clark, like, the punch in the gut, and then, like, the frustration of Octavia.
Literally, they were both, like, guys, like, think about the fact that in Bellamy and Echo haven't seen each other in, like, a few days now, right?
Yeah.
It's the reunion. Like,
what a reunion!
What reunion? They were in the corner, and it wasn't even focused in on them. The camera, they were blurred out of their own.
Because
reunion.
It's not their story.
It's not about. It's not about them. It's not about them.
This is the story of Bellamy and Clark. This is their relationship, and
like, Clark was literally, like, the focus of their reunion. Her face in the corner with Maddie, and then Octavia.
Yeah, like, listen, Bellamy and Clark had 2 episodes dedicated to their reunion. Remember, guys, the camera tells its own story. It's a good thing.
I think that ultimately Echo is going to be the one to end it, because she's going to notice how her being with Bellamy is affecting his relationship with Octavia, and she's not stupid, she's gonna notice that Bellamy's in love with Clark, and she's gonna realize that his heart is with somebody else, and why would she want it? Like, you need to respect yourself and respect everybody else in the situation.
Exactly. And go away. Exactly. And just the fact that it showed Clark, like, I can't get over that. Like, they did not need to do that.
No.
Like, it just showed that it's confirmed, basically, that this is gonna be, we're endgame, basically, you know? And I'm so happy, guys. Like, this is like fan fiction. It really is.
I feel so bad for Clark. I really do. Like, I feel terrible for Clark because Clark just got Bellamy back, and now this.
Another thing I really loved this episode was Murphy's interaction with Maddie.
Oh my gosh. I love how Maddie was driving the Rover, first of all. Like, no, Maddie's driving all of them in the Rover. And then Murphy?
Who's the Hobbit?
Who's the Hobbit? And then she was like, she's like, I thought you'd be funnier.
Yeah. And then, like, apparently Clark's told her story.
I love that so much. And she's like, Octavia's my favorite. Like, no offense. Oh gosh.
Yeah. We kind of knew that.
Clark's gonna love that.
Yeah, now it's gonna be really interesting to see Octavia meet up with her idol.
Literally her hero.
I'm excited about that.
I'm excited about that too.
It's gonna be really good.
You guys, you have no idea how excited I am for the fan videos.
I know, we're really on fan videos and fan fiction the next 2 weeks.
I've watched every fan video from episode 4, so I'm so excited to see the fan videos and like the head and the heart videos. Like,
oh my god.
I can cry right now just thinking about it. Like, I cannot wait. Like, please send them to me as soon as they're up, because they're gonna probably be up soon.
And all the fan fiction, because that's what we're gonna survive on the next 2 weeks, because we don't come back now till June 5th. We're gonna talk more about like our thoughts of like what's gonna happen. Probably like we'll put up a video next week in place, because there's no React 100 video going up next week.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do a video next week, like probably where we talk about we're gonna talk about whatever we get up until from now till then.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some promotional photos.
We'll probably get promotional photos. And
let us know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below, and some of your predictions. What do you guys think is gonna happen? And yeah, let's talk about that. We have some time to speculate, so leave your predictions and maybe we will share them in a prediction video.
Yes, and do not forget to hang out with us this weekend on Saturday with LM Reactions on our channel.
Yes.
We'll be going live, and you can send in some questions.
Yes, I'm gonna put up in the community tab like a couple days before, so look out for that, where I'm gonna ask for like topic discussion, like your questions, and
so start thinking of some really good questions, some complex ones. And if you enjoyed this review, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more reviews for the 100.
You can also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat. We are at City of the Feels.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye!